the ANC stance is clear. Party first and the country second. That's at least according to UDM leader Bantu Holomisa, who says they've been trying to engage President Cyril Ramaphosa and National Assembly Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula on social and economic challenges that are currently facing the country. He says the lack of urgency to address these matters show that South African citizens are simply not a priority. For more on his thoughts and efforts, let's bring in the General himself, who joins us now via our video link. It's lovely to have you on the program, sir. Thank you, as always, for making time. My understanding is that you wrote to the President. It was on the 18th of March this year. Has there been any response to your pleas yet?
Yes, the President's office did respond around April, and then the Speaker responded in May, and we felt that they were not serious. The main issue which we raised in that letter was the issue surrounding the state of our security in the country, and whether our law enforcement agencies are in a state of readiness, given what we are witnessing on the ground, as well as the lawlessness in general. And that the people on the ground seem to be uneasy, the fact that they are not getting jobs, and everybody is saying the economy is not performing. We thought, well, we can raise those issues with the President. With the Speaker, we wanted to speak to her concerning the Party and Zondo commissions of inquiry, as to how are we going to implement the findings of those commissions. Yes, the law enforcement agencies will do their part, but you will find that a lot of information which is contained there might require the Parliament to come up with new legislation so that we tighten the screws, so as to make sure that in future we don't have people who are going to siphon all these billions or trillions of rands.
Mm-hmm. When you say that the presidency and the National Assembly Speaker are not serious in the response to your letter, what do you mean by that? What did they say?
Not serious. That means they are not interested in engaging us, because if they were interested, they could have met us long time ago. But it's clear that their priorities are placed elsewhere. But we are not going to wait for them. We have been given a mandate by the voters of this country to represent them. And if we feel strongly that we can meet first as leaders and also map up a way forward by involving not only political parties in Parliament, but parties which are outside Parliament, as well as our sectors of civil society. So we have a right, therefore, to organize for such a big indaba. Maybe some of the resolutions might be taken to the President or to the government. We will discuss the methodology of bringing those concerns to them. Maybe they would wake up if we go there through a toy, as we once did.
Yeah, and we'll speak about, I guess, the kind of concerted effort that can come from the opposition benches, as it were. I just want to make sure we don't misunderstand what you're saying, General. Are you saying that the presidency and the Speaker have refused to meet with you over these issues in their response to your letter?
They have agreed to meet us, but we write a letter in March, and by this time no one has met us. It tells you that they are not serious.
Got you. All right. So you've appealed now to opposition leaders to essentially join you in your efforts. How many of them have responded to your call?
Almost all of them, they are responding, and I'll check today in my office when I go to the office. But last week they were, and also the leader of the opposition party as well has confirmed publicly that it is not on, that the leader of the country would undermine the opposition party leaders. Because we wanted to contribute and suggest how to deal with these matters. But if he thinks that he knows it all, so let him swim in his stew. We continue with our work.
The National Assembly Speaker, I think it's been reported, has actually said that the parliamentary response to something like the Zondo inquiry needs to be one that only comes after the President himself has been able to see through all the reports, and we know that the final installment is only due next month. Is that for you a suitable response to how Parliament should actually be addressing what's in the state capture report? Is that good enough, in other words, as far as you're concerned?
It's not good enough because the one thing which the public must understand, you cannot trust this government because when it comes to Zondo issues, almost all of them are implicated in the executive. Therefore, for the Speaker to want the executive to lead this process after they have been gatekeepers all these years, that escape our imagination as to exactly what is her role as a Speaker. So therefore, we wanted to make sure that so far, when the report is finally tabled, at least there are committees established, one looking into the implementation of the findings by the law enforcement agencies, but another section of another committee would have to look at the reviewing all the legislation to make sure that we combat corruption once and for all, because the Zondo Commission has been attacking the Parliament as to why did you not attend to these issues. But if you look at the ANC's numbers in Parliament, they always make sure that they will have more in each committee, more of their members, and steamroll whatever and cover up. You saw it during the Nqakula scandal, where we were told that a swimming pool is now a fire pool. That was those MPs.
Yeah. So as far as you're concerned, the ANC is using its majority in Parliament to essentially hamstring accountability when it comes to what's contained in the Zondo Commission reports.
Precisely, we have said this in the past. We said it during the Nqakula debate in Parliament, which led us to go to the Concord, and we succeeded in the Concord. So they are repeating the same thing, which means we're dealing with an institutionalized corruption here. To them, this is their policy. And if one of them is caught, they would put the interest of the party ahead of the country. If they were serious about fighting corruption, some of the ministers would have long been sent packing.
That raises questions then about what opposition leaders that you've now been able to consolidate are going to do. I mean, these are myriad of issues that could sometimes, I guess, really be overwhelming, so to speak, without necessarily a proper plan in your response. Where do you start as opposition leaders in responding to these things which you feel are being neglected by the ANC?
The letter I wrote there is proposing a committee of parties. It is that committee, after having received the input from different parties, which will come up with a plan and suggestion. So each political party has got a position which they can put forward, and now it's going to be broad if we include civil society and other parties which are outside the Parliament. We cannot fold our arms anymore. The honeymoon is over for ANC. They must be told.
All right, Bantu Holomisa, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Appreciate your time on Newsfeed AM. General Bantu Holomisa, of course, is the leader of the UDM.